This is the Scalper's Gold update. It's January 10th. Someone had requested that I do a video, more of an educational video with the DAX, and I thought that was a good idea since our U.S. indices, the YM, the ES, have been fairly choppy lately, beginning of the year, but the European markets have been great, some great trades. So just to kind of go over briefly, here we have our MSA trend. This tells us blue means a long trend, yellow is neutral, red means downtrend. And we use that as a filter. Here we have the prices printed on the chart. These come out in real time before price hits there. And these are the green prices are entries or stops. They can be stops if you're short. The red are short triggers, or they can be stops on if you're long. So with the DAX, you want to, depending on what part of the world you're in, if you're here in the U.S., you have to get up a little earlier to catch some of the DAX trades as it opens up. It's in the German market, so they're a little ahead of us there time-wise. So this is starting at about 6:30 Central Time here in the U.S. You had a long signal here at 49.1450, and you can see, well, that didn't go anywhere. When you see when you compare the trend is neutral, so it's saying it's okay to take a long. You can also take short trades on a yellow or neutral trend. So if you get into this one, it doesn't go anywhere. Now with the DAX, usually I use an emergency stop of 6 points in the DAX. It's a little wider than the other markets because it tends to be a more volatile market. But the moves tend to be much bigger. Sometimes, usually you can catch, if you're using a 6-point stop, you can get your winners about 3 to 3.5 times the size of your losers on average. So that's pretty nice risk to reward ratio there. Okay, then you did get a short signal at 48.9350. Okay, and we check to see is our trend red or yellow, and it is, so we can take the short. So if you lost 6 points, let's say on the first one, you take the second one and from 48.9350. Now it doesn't look like much here, but even just to this low point here, you're talking about 30 to 33 points, DAX points right there, which is quite nice. 30 DAX points. Is probably somewhere now around $900 per contract. So you lose 6 points here and potential to make 30. If you just wait, you see once you get short, as long as it's scalper line, this is our scalper line. Once we get into a trade, we can watch the scalper line. As long as it's red, we can stay short. When we run into a couple of consecutive blue dots there, if we're short, we know a stop is coming. In this case, it gave us our final stop at 48.76. So worst case scenario, if you didn't take points down here, you stopped here for about 17 points. So you can risk 6 and then make 17. You're having a good day already. In fact, if you took more than the 17 and maybe took 30, and end of the day with 20 plus points, not a bad day right there. Again, the trend is still short, so we ignore any long signals. So that stop there was a potential reversal, but the trend said no. Here, 48.61 is an eligible short. The trend was red, so it's okay to take the short. Didn't really go anywhere, but you take your 6-point stop. This long here, it's 48.71. Not sure the trend had changed in time, but even if it did, take a small 6-point stop there. This short at 46.63. Now I got down to 48.50, or I'm sorry, 48.63 to get down to 48.53. So there's 10 points in there. It doesn't look like much, but there's 10 points there. It's actually not a bad trade. But even if you just stopped on that, This trade was, looks like the trend was still red there. Then 48.68, you can take from entry to stop there 10 points, just about 10 points there. So, kind of made back what you lost in here. Things kind of go quiet. We're waiting. Market's kind of waiting for the New York Open here. Let's see. The 58.50. We wouldn't be taking that long because the trend is red. And we're only looking at short trades there. Then it turns to neutral. Even if you took this one here, it didn't really go. It's pretty almost a break even there. So not much happening for a while. Probably small stop there. Another 6 points stop here. That didn't go anywhere. And then you hit 48.64.50. Let's see, what was the low on that? 48.37.50. So more than 20 points available there. So you can see how you can take the small stops because you're going to hit. This doesn't look much, but it's a nice trade in the DAX. 20 points. So long signal here, that doesn't go anywhere. Take a small stop there. You could probably reverse to the short side. That was almost a break even there. And then you could reverse this. Looks like the trend had changed there. So you've got a long here. It's kind of covered by the price right now. That was at 48.54. It looks like. So the long there at 48.54, and look at this trade. From even if you missed 48.54 and you took 48.64, still fantastic trade there. So you get into this trade, you get your first stop there at 47.50. You can see that was not hit, and continue to move higher to the peak here. A high there of 49.35.50. Okay, that gives you from the original entry to the peak there, you've got about 81 DAX points to work with there. And the key, what keeps you in the trade, if you get in at 54 here, 48.54. Okay, you got your first stop at 48.47.50. And when you first got into the trade, your scalper line was blue, and then you hit your two consecutive red dots there, so you know a stop is coming. Stop gets printed on the chart, doesn't get hit, continues, and you see the scalper line turns back blue. That means you can stay long. You run into one red dot, but no big deal because it turned back blue. You see all the momentum bars to the upside here, so all the momentum is to the upside. And this just stayed blue. This scalper line stayed blue this whole time. And worst case scenario, you ran into consecutive red dots here. It set a stop for you there. That was at 49.16.50. So worst case scenario, you stopped out here. So you see how the scalper's gold keeps cuts the losses short, but allows these winners to run and keeps you in the trade and gives you some guidelines and a roadmap to say, okay, everything's good, everything's still longs. We can stay long and we can stay with this trade. So there's been a number of those kind of great trades lately in the DAX. So hope that helps, and watch those European markets. The Euro stocks is another one that has been pretty good lately. So hope that helps, and we'll see you again.